Hey everybody, TC here. And listen, the third day of the Western Association of Food Chains annual convention was no less illuminating than the first two. This is a terrific convention, always lots of interesting information, lots of opportunity to network. The first keynote today was by Vernice Flygirl Armour, the first female African-American fighter pilot. And what a great story, and boy was she energetic, talking about her really interesting paths to finding her way into the Marines and being a fighter pilot. And then they had Bo Jackson, right? The athlete, the icon. In fact, the only person in American history to be both an all-star in the National Football League and Major League Baseball. Really interesting story, not just about his athletic career, but also about food businesses in which he's participated over the years and a lot of his philanthropic work. But to me, the highlight had to be another capstone presentation from just graduated students from USC's Marshall School of Business Food Industry Management program. And I talked about the one yesterday in which they were talking about quantum computing. Today it was totally different. These are just recent graduates in the last week or so. And they were talking about the creation of grocery savings accounts, which would be like an HSA except for groceries. And here are some bullet points from the presentation. First of all, we know grocery prices are up, sometimes as much as 40% depending on the item. We may be looking at an extended period of inflation and recession. It's harder for people to find money to pay for groceries. So if you could take, for a single person, $125 a week or $250 a week for more than one person, and put those pre-tax dollars into a debit card program that the people could use for groceries, not for alcohol, you would actually give them an ability to use their money more effectively to buy groceries they can use to feed their family, especially in the case of fresh food. This would be their money. It's not a handout, right? It's their money. They're just getting access to it in a different kind of way. They're persuaded that this does not need legislation. It fits into the tax code. In fact, this could be created by, go figure, the regulatory state. It would apply to people who have fallen to the 22% or below federal tax bracket. They think it could affect as many as 65 million people and could end up plowing as much as $55 billion a year back into the grocery business. And it would be an economic multiplier, right? It would create demand, which would help the agriculture business. It would help the trucking business. It would help companies make more investment in infrastructure. It would create this amazing flywheel effect. And listen, it would be good in terms of healthcare because people would eat more fresh food. They wouldn't be, because they would have access to the money to be able to do it. Listen, I thought it was a really interesting idea, and I'm amazed it hasn't been tried before. And they have some ideas about how to kind of create a grassroots campaign that would persuade the federal government to empower the creation of grocery savings accounts. Listen, like yesterday, these are really, really smart people. They're thinking outside the box. They're trying to think innovatively, and they're trying to address significant and serious problems that affect the industry, affects consumers, and affects society at large. I give them a lot of credit. Certainly, I'll do anything I can to help them because I think what they're doing makes an awful lot of sense. Anyway, that's what's on my mind. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.